Good morning, ma. Today let us see about the burns in children. Usually, burns means it is nothing but it is caused by heat, cold, chemical, or irritation, and usually due to thermal or heat induced or chemical burn. Chemical, and usually there is a cool the affected area with cold water or cold compresses until the pain will be reduced. The pain is reduced. The here in the burns, usually the underlying tissue in the person under the age of 18, it is the most common type of pediatric injury. Here also the cause may will be unattended usually, due to children's over enthusiasm. And burns it usually caused by heat, cold, or chemical or irritation. And usually this burn area will be treated with cold water or cold compresses until the pain is reduced. The first step is helping to protect the kid from burns is to understand how common burns happen. And coming to the thermal burns, usually these burns arise the temperature of the skin and tissue underneath. And thermal burns happen from steam, hot water, tap, and tipped over coffee cups, hot foods, cooking fluids, etc. Thermal means due to heat. That means whenever there is a cooking or heat source, usually these thermal burns affect. And radiation burns usually due to ultraviolet rays and X-rays. Usually these are from ultraviolet rays and X-rays. And chemical burns by swallowing some of the acids or chemicals for the children. Usually like button batteries, usually drain cleanser, bleaching powders, or something like home cleansers, like this. And electrical burns usually due to electricity, which will happen by biting on the electrical cords or sticking fingers or objects into the electrical outlets. When they are touching, the children doesn't know how they to maintain. So by touching these electrical cords or sticking fingers or objects, usually they get with the electrical burns. When you see the statistics, usually due to scalds, that means when due to some liquids, hot liquids, scalds are formed. That due to heat, scalds is 61%, due to contact usually 21%, due to flames 8%, due to flash 4%, electrical burns 2%, chemical 1%, radiation 1%, friction 1%, and non-stick burn is 1%. And knowing the type of burn a child can help with first aid measures. To view the first aid, first we should know what type of burn the children is having. Why means in order to give the treatment, whether it is a heat burn, or electrical burn, or due to some chemical burn, or some other, we should know particularly what burn is this to give the first aid. And all the burns should be treated quickly to lower the temperature of the burnt area and to reduce the damage to the skin and tissue underneath. First aid, first degree of burns, usually superficial burns are the mildest type of burns, and they are limited to the top of the skin. And usually here the signs and symptoms you already know. The burns is divided into according to the degree of burns: first degree, second degree, third degree, and fourth degree of burns. And according to the depth of burns also: superficial, deep, and burns. And when we see the superficial burns, usually these are the mild burns. Superficial means on the uppermost layer of the skin. And here the signs and symptoms are redness, pain, and minor swelling. Skin is dry without any blisters. The healing time usually is 3 to 6 days, and the superficial layer of the burn may peel off in 1 or 2 days. Coming to the deep burns. Deep burns. In this deep burns, usually the burnt area is red and blistered and can swell and be painful, and the blisters sometimes break open and the area is wet looking with a bright pink or cherry colored, and the healing time usually takes upon the depending upon the severity of burns up to 3 weeks or longer. And coming to the full thickness burns, usually these burns are third degree and fourth degree burns and the most serious type of burns, and these involve all the layers of the skin, and the nerve endings also will be involved in these burns. And signs and symptoms, usually it appears dry and can look waxy white and leathery brown or charted, and there may be little or no pain, and may feel numb at the first because there is nerve damage, there is numbness. Another part of body and surgical place over the burn wound. And what should we do for burns? Usually when there is a burns, usually according to the first aid of burns, whatever we do in the adult, the same way we follow in the children also. The burnt area is large. If the burnt area is large, even it may be minor burn. The burn that appears to cover a large part of the body, call for the medical help, and do not use wet compresses or ice before they can cause the child's body temperature to drop. Why means the children will have fast hypothermia, so we should not use here wet compresses or ice compresses. Instead of, we should cover clean and cover the burnt area with a soft cloth or towel. The burn comes from fire or electrical wire, a socket or chemicals. The burn is on the face, scalp, hand, genitals, or on the skin over a joint, or where the burn is infected. Usually according to the type we have to treat. And usually in this, run cool water over the burnt area or hold a clean or cold compress on the burn for 3 to 5 minutes, and do not apply butter, grease, powder or any other folk remedies to the burn, and they can make the burn deeper and increase the risk of infection. Apply aloe gel or cream to the affected area. This may be done a few times during the day. And give the child acetaminophen or ibuprofen for pain. Follow the label directions for how much to give and how often. Keep the affected area clean. Can protect it with sterile gauze pad or bandage for about 24 hours. Do not pull adhesive bandages because it will damage the skin of the kids, because the delicate skin, the kids skin is very delicate, and in spite of burns it is very delicate. And then we have to call for the emergency medical care. It is the steps that are to be followed means, keep the child laying down with the burnt area raised. Follow the instructions of the first degree burns. Remove all jewelry and clothing around the burn except for clothing that's stuck to the skin. And if have trouble removing clothing, may need to cut off or wait until the medical help arrives. Do not break any blisters. The recent technique is, you should not break the blisters. Apply cool water over the area for at least 3 to 5 minutes. Then cover the area with dry cloth or sheet until the help arrives. Make sure the child is not in contact with the electrical source before touching him or her, or also get shocked. For chemical burns, flush the area with lots of running water for 5 minutes or more. If the burnt area is large, use a tub, shower, buckets of water or garden hose. Do not remove any of the child's clothing before flushing the burn with water, as flushing the burn then remove clothing from the burnt area. If the burnt area from the chemical is small, flush for another 10 to 20 minutes. Apply a sterile gauze or bandage and then seek the doctor's help. Chemical burns to the mouth or eyes need to be checked by the doctor right away after being thoroughly flushed with water. If there is chemical burns, we have to flush it thoroughly with the water. If eyes means at the inner canthus, we have to flush with water for about 15 minutes. For mouth also same. And if any serious problem is there because of the possible damage to the internal organs, symptoms may vary depending on the type and severity of the burn. And if the patient has swallowed the chemical substance or objects or any instance or a battery button battery, first call poison control and then seek the emergency medical help. To know the chemical product the child has swallowed has to be exposed to. Coming to the treatment and management of children, we have to who have suffered burns injury require special care and skill on the part of the physician, and the physician should have in-depth knowledge about the difference in treatment of burns between children and adults. And the body mass ratio of the children and adults is 3:1, meaning that the children has 3 times more body mass area than adults. Additionally, loss of fluids in children is much more than an adult, which requires a greater need of fluids in children. Means body mass is more in children and they need more fluids also than the adults. That means 3 times more than the adults. The increased body mass ratio of the children when compared to the adults predisposes them to a condition called hypothermia, which is something that needs to be avoided when managing burn injuries in children. And there is a significant burn injury, the first should be first removed from the source of burn. The next step is to wash the area with tap water thoroughly and then apply some antiseptic ointment like betadine on the area of the injury. The child is complaining of pain, then give painkillers as prescribed by the physician. If the area of the burn is oozing, then it is always better to wrap the area with sterile gauze. If the gauze is not available, then the injury site can be wrapped with a clean or dry towel. The child should be taken to the nearest emergency room where the severity of burn can be assessed and proper treatment management can ensure. It is advised and recommended never to apply toothpaste, coffee or turmeric to the area of the injury, and they will cause more infection. That's why we should ask them not to apply anything. Additionally, it is advised not to apply grease, powder or butter to the area as it worsens the injury. Never wrap the area with dirty cloth or as the contaminated fabric may allow bacteria to creep into the skin and cause serious infection. In conclusion, burn injuries in children can occur due to negligence on the part of the both parents and the children. The most common cause of burn in the children is through pouring hot fluid on themselves or a firecracker injury. Taking the child to the emergency room to assess the extent of damage caused due to injury should be first priority. And simple measures like only drinking hot drinks away from children, turning pot handles to the back and keeping cots out of reach reduces the chance of burns in the children. Cool running water is the best first aid treatment for burns, and while historically there are many home remedies used for treating burn injuries, at least 15 years strong scientific evidences about the effectiveness of 20 minutes of running cool water has been established. The first aid will minimize the impact of burn injury. It involves cooling the burn with 20 minutes of cool running water within 3 hours of injury, and cool the burn wound with 20 minutes of cool running water. And prevention is better than cure when it comes to the child's health, but despite any parents' best efforts, accidents sometimes occur. And stop the burning process. Run cool water. The priority is first stop the burning process. Run cool water over the burn. Do not use ice directly on the burnt wound. Do not apply home remedies or ointments. Cover the burn with the clean bandage or cloth. Take ibuprofen or acetaminophen for pain and seek medical attention if needed. Healing burns. A high protein diet is important for healing burns. Encourage foods such as milk, meat, eggs, yogurt, cheese, beans and peanut butter. Limit water, juices and junk food. The burn wound heal within 14 to 21 days. The chance of scarring will be minimal to none. Use a circular motion when rubbing the lotion into the skin. Massage the new skin with the lotion until you can no longer see the lotion. Lotion massage helps the skin to be more elastic and smooth like uninjured skin, and also helps with itching. Casting. A cast will protect the injured extremity during the healing process, decrease the need for frequent dressing changes, and allow the injury to heal in a optimal position. The cast must stay dry, so patients must take sponge bath only. If the cast gets wet, the cast must be removed and new cast applied. Casts are nothing but you may be seeing just like in orthopedics, they will apply POP cast. The same like that in burns also, to heal for the children, because the children cannot take more care. Sometimes cast can be provided in order to have more quick healing. Garments. Tight elastic garments may be used as a scar management tool, and custom pressure garments put constant even pressure on the scar tissue, which results in improved texture and thickness of scars. If a pressure garment is recommended, it is ordered by the physical or occupational therapist. Garments also, tight clothing should be given to reduce the scarring marks. And next we have to give care according to the need. That is, for fever, with burns patient will have always rise in body temperature. That is, low grade fever of 99 to 100 is not uncommon, and in children develops temperature above 101 should contact the pediatrician, and the child should be evaluated for the hyperthermia. Dressings. Generally, the child's dressings will need to be changed every 4 to 7 days unless doctor otherwise the doctor advised by doctor, and keep dressings dry. Sponge bath only between the dressing changes. Dirty dressings from playing are okay as long as the dressings stay dry or intact. The dressings should be changed if they become wet or soiled from urine, stool or vomiting. Need reinforced dressings to keep them in contact. That means dressing should be kept always dry, and if they get dirt by the infected with the urine, stool and vomiting, they should be changed regularly, and only sponge baths are advised in between the dressings. Coming to the sometimes we will see the infections, signs and symptoms of infections also in burns, and parents and caregivers should be aware of the signs and symptoms of infection if the child is experiencing any like that. That is, hyperthermia about 101 above 101.5 degree, irritability and increased pain, increased redness around the burn area, foul odor, red rash, increased drainage. These all are the signs and symptoms of infections. They should immediately seek the help of the pediatrician. And playing outdoors, we want child to be active as possible, and some simple precautions can help with burn healing. Protect facial burns from direct sunlight by wearing a large protective hat. Prevent sand and dirt from getting underneath the dressings. These are the preventive measures while they are going outdoors for playing. We should ask them to have a big hat to play in order to prevent the ultra red burns and injury from the sand and dirt. And we should ask them to wear the good tight clothing. Okay ma, hope you understood about the care of the burns in children. We'll continue in the later session.